You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
He was nice in letting him go before the meeting. I mean, frankly, we didn't think this was going to happen.
Breaking overnight, President Trump with some kind words for Kim Jong-un as he welcomes 3 detainees back to the U.S.
Plus, after recent shootings in the Newtown neighborhood, a closer look at gun violence in that area.
And inside the search for a teenage boy feared taken by an alligator in Orlando. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning, 6 o'clock now. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us here on Good Morning Suncoast. John Scalzi, another hot one out there today?
Another hot one, another steamy one. But, you know, still the humidity is not that too terribly bad. In fact, if you look at the webcam from Cortez Bridge, it's kind of representative, I think, of most of the roadway conditions out there in terms of weather. Good visibility, not much in the way of any kind of rainfall around. Forecast calls for a continuation of that through the day today, but a little bit of high cloudiness will stream by, especially during the morning hours. That will mix away, I think, by the time we hit the afternoon, and winds coming in out of the northeast will just reinforce the already dry air that is around. That's true north and south in the viewing area. Day planner shows a daytime high tops out near 90 with plenty of sunshine during the afternoon after we get rid of the high cloudiness, and not a drop of rain in the forecast. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a live look right now. This is the Sarasota Outboard Club docks at Hart's Landing, which is under the Ring Lane Causeway. There's a big tarpon fishing tournament starting soon.
Tarpon fishing is amazing. If you've never done it before, I promise you, you're not going to be great at it the first time, but it's an experience like no other.
Starts on Saturday and goes for about 4.5 weeks. Let's check the roads right now. First alert traffic showing one little thing there on University on the base of your screen there. It's in the eastbound lane around Whitfield heading toward Honore, otherwise pretty clear in Manatee County. Checking the northern half of Sarasota County now. See a little issue there on Bee Ridge in the eastbound lane at Honore. Also on Clark Road westbound as you approach Beneva. And then checking our final maps to the south, we'll find out there is not much, a little blip down there near Murdoch in Charlotte County.
Breaking overnight, President and Mrs. Trump welcomed home 3 men held captive in North Korea. They, along with Vice President Mike Pence, were all on hand this morning to greet the men around 2:30 this morning after they were held in a North Korean prison for more than a year.
It was a very important thing to all of us to be able to get these 3 great people out.
Now, the 3 were initially accused of hostile acts against the North Korean regime, but after a meeting with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un decided to release them. The president called it a goodwill gesture ahead of their historic planned meeting that's coming up in the next few weeks.
And I heard that'll be happening, by the way, in Singapore.
In Singapore, not in the demilitarized zone, which was one of the rumors when it first all started.
There you go.
All right, well, these past few months, there have been several shootings in the North Sarasota neighborhood of Newtown. The most recent was Tuesday night near 23rd Street.
Well, despite that recent incident, they say violence in Newtown is actually getting better. Marla Spence is there with some numbers for us. Marla?
Good morning, guys. This neighborhood that's small in size yet big in its history has seen its share of crime and also gun violence. Sarasota police say although this might be true, there has been a decline in gun violence compared to other years. Now, according to Sarasota Police Department, in 2017, there were 28 aggravated assaults or batteries involving a gun and 1 homicide. Even though we're only a few months into this year, the number of shootings is half of what was last year. So far this year, there have been 14 aggravated assaults or batteries involving a gun and also 1 homicide. Sarasota City Commissioner Willie Shaw tells us although a shooting or crime is always devastating, he says the number of crimes in Newtown has dropped drastically compared to past years.
We have seen a decrease in guns over the last 7 years. We're not seeing the same number, but any number is an unwarranted and unfortunate incident. Anytime public health, welfare, and safety is at risk, we have an issue.
Commissioner Shaw says back in 2011, there were about 7 homicides just in that year. Coming up at 6:30, we're going to be telling you what city leaders and police plan to do to promote positivity as well as to cut back on the gun violence and to make sure that this area is safe for its residents. Reporting live in Newtown, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. This morning, police in Northport are searching for a man wanted in connection to a death of a teenager earlier this year there. This is the mugshot of 22-year-old Tyrick Bell, who Northport police say is connected in the death of Trent Bartle Thomas. Police say Bell and at least one other man barged into a home on Porto Chico Avenue overnight that day, demanding money and drugs. Thomas tried to stop them when a fight broke out, and that's when police say he was shot and killed.
Certainly those who knew this young man are very distraught. We know that he had been in and out of some foster care throughout his early life, but we've seen a tremendous amount of support since his death.
Just worrisome. I didn't expect this to happen.
The U.S. Marshal's Office is now offering a $1,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest of Bell.
Well, this morning, law enforcement are on standby after an all-day search yesterday for a teen who disappeared in a retention pond in Orlando, where they think an alligator may have dragged him under. Now, crews have been using sonar devices trying to locate the boy who reportedly disappeared just before noon yesterday. Someone called 911 saying that they saw this boy being dragged under the water.
We did not witness anyone in the water, but we have a witness, very credible witness, who said he saw someone flailing about in the water and at some point making a statement saying, "It bit me."
Now, police did search the neighborhood. They only found some clothes located near the pond. During the search, they did see at least one 6-foot gator in that pond.
Health news now, an update. More cases of E. coli have been linked to tainted romaine lettuce, and some of those cases have turned up in Florida. Health officials say 28 new cases have turned up in Florida, Minnesota, North Dakota, and Texas. The CDC says the total number is now 149. More than 60 people in 29 states have been hospitalized. 17 of those have developed kidney failure.
All right about now, if you are eating a muffin, you might want to put it down and step away. A social media post about ticks has left some little ticked off. The CDC posted this photo of a poppy seed muffin. Hey, it was gluten-free, Ray. Okay. They asked people if they could spot all 5 ticks hidden on the muffin. Now, it was meant to raise awareness about the small size of ticks. They are very tiny, as you can see, and also educate people on ways to prevent tick bites this summer. But instead, Twitter users and muffin lovers complained that the photo ruined poppy seed muffins for them forever. Now, the CDC has since apologized, saying that, sorry, we ticked some of you off.
Shrewd campaign there.
Right?
All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
It is the world's oldest tarpon tournament. We are going to take you live there to Sarasota in just a moment. We're going to get an interview with one of the participants and tell you all about it when we come back.
Here's a peek outside our window at the Rosemary District. Looks like a nice day is shaping up again. Is that true, John Scalzi?
Yeah, I think so. If you're heading to the beach today, because it is going to be a warm one coming in at about 90, I should say most of our area beaches are not reporting any red tide, but the red tide update as of yesterday did show areas around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor picking up some very small amounts of red tide in the water. So watch for that. Wind's kind of staying out of the east, though, maybe shifting a little bit more to the north over a lot of the area. We'll keep most of that way offshore. As far as the pollen forecast goes, it's good today. Moderate range for everything, so we like that. Again, the major allergens are oak grasses and hickory. And if you're headed to the beach this evening for a sunset walk, should be gorgeous. Lots of high clouds giving you plenty of color. 4 beach balls out of 4. Forecast coming up in a minute.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Experience the Classical Music Celebration May 11th and 12th at the historic Sarasota Opera House. World-class musicians include guitar duo Charisma, currently touring with Andrea Bocelli. Tickets available online or by phone.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Pretty nice day shaping up for us. I think by the time we get to 7 a.m., we're looking at 67 degrees. As we head into the afternoon hours, the little bit of high cloudiness that we have around currently coming in from Mexico, I think we'll start to mix away a little bit more, and we'll look for more sunshine as we progress through the afternoon with top-out temperatures near the 90-degree mark once again. Well above average still, but still a little bit drier air than we normally would have at this time of year, making it feel okay, even though the temperatures are that warm. 82 degrees as we head into the sunset hour, and it should be a beautiful sunset. Nice wind blowing, making it breezy out there, and a nice high cloudiness that will reflect the sunset colors. 65 degrees air temperature, dew point now at 63, a little bit higher than it was 24 hours ago, but still, as I mentioned, comfortable enough. Lots of starshine out there, but some high clouds as well. East-northeast wind comes in at about 5. So, with all the warm air and the dry air as well, the fire danger index continues to be a problem. A lot of the area still in that very high category, especially along the coastline. So, again, extreme caution with any kind of fire across the region. For us today, weather highlights are all focused around that area of high pressure. The position of that high and the amount of moisture in our atmosphere is going to in large part determine our sensible weather over the course of the next several days. As we head into the weekend, the weather will also be driven by a trough of low pressure developing down toward the areas of the Florida Straits and the Atlantic waters. That will help provide a trigger mechanism once the moisture has returned to the peninsula to give us some showers and maybe even a thunderstorm or two as we head into Mother's Day, it looks like, and then carry it with us as we head into next week as well. That high will eventually migrate out into the Atlantic, which will bring that trough our way and bring the moisture back as well. The low pressure areas to the north of us will stay to the north of us. So the forecast kind of features sunny and dry conditions for a couple of days, followed by an increase in moisture with weekend rains, most likely spiking on Sunday, and then kind of humid as well for Mother's Day. The country right now features some pretty quiet conditions, but that will be changing as humidity starts to lift northward across the peninsula of Florida. We'll watch this little trough of low pressure also lift north, as I mentioned, and this is, I think, a pretty good visual representation of what to expect on Sunday and Monday, and that is rain chances of about 60% or so. No rain right now across the state of Florida. Don't expect any today either across the nation. Maybe a bullseye of some showers and maybe even a thunderstorm or two in upstate New York, Pennsylvania. Back to the west, more rain showers in the Pacific Northwest. There will be some flooding up there because of snow melt due to the rain showers melting the mountain snows and creating issues. And also in parts of Missouri and Wisconsin, they'll see some flooding in the upper Mississippi Valley as well due to some heavier rains that have occurred there. That's going to be some fairly major flooding, I think. Northwest wind coming in at about 10, decreasing to 5 to 10 during the evening hours. Light chop, 2-foot seas. Nice day for boating, actually. The forecast calling for a daytime high today near 90. Same thing tomorrow. Pretty much similar conditions both Friday and today. Maybe Friday a little bit more humidity still on Saturday, but still I think Saturday looks like a pretty good day. Only about a 20% chance of late day showers, mostly inland I think. Sunday, however, the humidity comes back full tilt boogie, and you're looking at some pretty sticky conditions I think on Sunday, and a good chance of showers, especially in the afternoon and evening, maybe a thunderstorm or two as well. And that trend will continue on into the next work week. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside to your first alert. Traffic roads are running pretty smooth around this hour of the morning. Not too many blips there on the radar. Starting to see a little bit more traffic on the bridges heading into Bradenton, but nothing major yet at this hour. 301 State Road 70, starting to see some slowdowns there, both of those in Manatee County. Then in Sarasota County, those roads are still looking pretty decent as you're coming off of 75 and onto Bee Ridge, starting to see some slowdowns right there as well. But really not too much going on in the northern half of Sarasota County. A little bit farther south, if you're heading south on either 75 or 41, you're going to have a pretty smooth commute so far this morning. Those roads are looking pretty decent there as well. That is your first alert traffic. And this weekend, the 88th annual Sarasota Tarpon Tournament officially kicks off.
88 years, began in 1930. Linda McKnight is on the committee there. And Linda, first of all, thank you for waking up early to join us on Good Morning Suncoast. If you fish, you must be used to these early hours, though. Or not.
Hey, Linda, can you hear us at all? Just checking. Okay, well, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, but we can tell you a little bit about the festival itself.
Yeah, it actually begins on Saturday, and it goes all the way until Sunday, June 17th. There's a kickoff party this weekend at White Buffalo, then it ends with an awards banquet. It's a world-class fishing tournament. 80 years now. It's now a catch and release type format. It really supports the community. And they have weekly winners and then also a 2-day fish off at the end, which is on the weekend of June 16th and June 17th.
That's right. And over the years, it's transitioned. It is now a catch and release. And if you've ever gone tarpon fishing, it is unlike anything you've ever seen. Pretty amazing.
Do we have Linda now to hear us okay?
Yeah. All right, so we're still having some technical difficulties. We'll come back to her later, but first, let's move on.
6:18 right now, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
A service dog company is under fire this morning for deceiving the people who actually needed this life-saving help. Inside those allegations coming up. Plus, Marla?
Over the past few months, there has been several shootings in the Newtown area. Is the issue getting better or worse? And what is law enforcement and city leaders doing to kind of help out the issue that's coming up straight ahead?
But first, here's a peek outside at the Rosemary District. A pretty shot there of the downtown skyline. Should be another nice day. John Scalzi calling for a high of 90, plenty of sunshine. He'll detail the forecast, including the weekend menu coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
When ABC7 declares a First Alert Weather Day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a First Alert Weather Day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A First Alert Weather Day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
6:22 on your Thursday morning. That is Sarasota Bay, the site of much of the tarpon fishing that'll be taking place. Like that segue?
That is very well done, Ray. Well done. Tarpon right out there right now.
We now have
waiting for this interview.
I hope they can't hear us. They wouldn't
No.
like it. Linda McKnight is on the committee for the 88th annual tarpon tournament. You can hear us now, we hope. And Linda, a big change in the whole concept. It's now a catch and release event, correct?
Yes, I believe it always has been catch and release. You're not allowed to keep tarpon.
All right, well,
they're protected.
Oh, sure. Well, we talked to Captain Jeffrey last hour, and we were asking him some of the ways that the tournament has changed over the years, and he mentioned it's different in the way that they catch and release these days. What can you tell us about the tournament that's getting ready to start off? What are some of the things that folks are going to be able to do?
Well, I can tell you it's one of the most exciting things to do, and the tournament gives you that competitive edge that you want to have when you're out fishing, so it gets more people out. We have a blast out there, and when you hook up with one of those tarpon, it is unbelievable. It's like nothing I've ever experienced before. It is so much fun.
So this goes from this weekend until June 17th, and it goes from Anna Maria south to Stump Pass. So for those who are new to the area, where are we really talking about? How far south is Stump Pass?
Well, it's south of Venice, just a little ways, Inglewood area, and you have the whole beach line all the way up to the northern point of Anna Maria. And it's fabulous fishing for tarpon. They travel down the beach like you cannot believe. They always say if you see one on the top, there's about 10 underneath it. And I've seen groups that make waves when they go by. It's absolutely fabulous.
All right, Linda, exciting tournament. I'm sure I've been tarpon fishing before. It's pretty amazing. Thank you again for getting up with us this morning and sharing some of the information about the tournament.
Sunday is Mother's Day. It's just a few days away, and it's adding up to be one of the most expensive on record. According to the National Retail Federation, $23 billion will be spent on moms this weekend. That's more than $2 billion on flowers, $4 billion on jewelry, $2 billion on spas. Which one do you want?
I want all of it.
Mother's Day.
I also want some coffee.
All right, take it easy. Mother's Day is Sunday.
All right, well, moving on. This is certainly not something that you see every day. All right, a service dog company in Virginia is accused of deceiving its customers into thinking that they're buying a dog that could save their life.
ABC's Gio Benitez has this story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, watch this trained service dog in action, waking his diabetic owner up in the middle of the night because he senses her blood sugar is dropping. And this is Lotus. Giovanna Flores bought her for her son, who has diabetes, hoping that she would save his life if he went into diabetic shock. Now, Virginia's Attorney General is filing a new lawsuit against the company based on more than 50 customer complaints, alleging that in many cases, these dogs are poorly trained, ill-behaved dogs that are not equipped to help them manage a life-threatening disability and are little more than very expensive pets. Watch, in this simulation, a service dog notices her trainer might be having a nightmare in bed and quickly pulls the covers off to wake her up. And coming up at 7 a.m., more on this troubling case. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
This weekend at Kohl's, give mom the perfect gift and get Kohl's Cash. Give her a designer fragrance or Nike sneakers and get Kohl's Cash. Help mom clean up with a Roomba and you'll get $70 Kohl's Cash. Plus, shop other great gifts store-wide. The more you spend, the more you save. Kohl's.
Capital One and Hotels.com are giving venture cardholders 10 miles on every dollar they spend at thousands of hotels.
I have the chills.
Because of all those miles.
And because ice is cold.
What's in your wallet?
All right, I brought in new Max Protein.
To give you the protein you need, with less of the sugar you don't. I'll take that.
30 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar. New Ensure Max Protein and 2 great flavors.
Feel the clarity of non-drowsy Claritin 24-hour relief when allergies occur. Day after day after day. Because life should have more wishes and less worries. Feel the clarity and live Claritin Clear.
Experience the Classical Music Celebration May 11th and 12th at the historic Sarasota Opera House. World-class musicians include guitar duo Charisma, currently touring with Andrea Bocelli. Tickets available online or by phone.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Thank you. What are you doing? Oh my.
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on MySuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at MySuncoast.com/dining. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
It was a very important thing to all of us to be able to get these three great people out.
Breaking overnight, the 3 Americans detained in North Korea have now arrived back home here in the United States.
And a closer look at the violence in Newtown. Despite the recent shootings, at least one city commissioner says the numbers have gone down. We'll have a live update.
Plus, the FDA is warning of an EpiPen shortage. How long it's expected to last? We'll have the answer to that coming up. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning to you. It is 6:30 on this Thursday morning. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. After a week of sunny and hot and dry conditions, Professor Scalzi says he detects some rain in the future.
Yes, I think so. Richard in Northport says 63 degrees. Cooper in Central Sarasota, 68 degrees. We have some cloud cover around. That's not our rainfall. Today we get a little bit of high cloudiness to start the day, but that'll mix away and give us mostly sunny conditions. We do have rain coming our way over the weekend. I'll be talking about that in about 5 minutes or so. We have 67 degrees, Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota 65, Venice 68, 69 degrees. In Inglewood, we have a temperature that is a couple of degrees warmer than it was 24 hours ago, but still roughly about the same. Day planner shows our daytime high about the same as yesterday. Plenty of sunshine in the afternoon as we top it out near 90. Complete forecast coming up in a few, plus how to protect your home in a hurricane. All that in a few.
Always good to know. Thank you, John. Here's a live shot right now from the Sarasota Outboard Club dock, which is not too far from Moat Marine, as a boat takes off this morning. Big tarpon fishing tournament starts Saturday. 80th annual in Sarasota. That's amazing history. In fact, 88th annual, I should say. 1930 it began. Pretty shot right there as a boat takes off into Sarasota Bay, right on cue. Let's check traffic on terra firma. There's the ground traffic, not the boat traffic. We see some buildup there on 14th Street West in the southbound lane as you head past Bayshore Gardens. Let's check farther south now into the northern half of Sarasota County. A couple blips there, one on Bee Ridge rather, at the eastbound lanes from Honoré into Cattleman, also westbound on Clark as you get around the Swift Road area. Checking farther south now on our final maps down toward South County and northern Charlotte County. A little thing there at the county line on 41. Nothing major to report at 6:32.
Breaking overnight, 3 Americans held captive in North Korea are now back on U.S. soil. Those men arrived at Andrews Air Force Base just after 2 o'clock this morning, where President Trump was there to welcome them home. Now, their release, a symbolic good gesture move by North Korean President Kim Jong-un, ahead of that historic planned meeting with President Trump. John Lawrence has the amazing welcome home.
The 3 Americans held in North Korea landed at Andrews Air Force Base early Thursday morning.
It was a very important thing to all of us to be able to get these 3 great people out.
Kim Dong-chul, Tony Kim, and Kim Hak-song issued a statement that says, in part, "We would like to express our deep appreciation to the United States government, President Trump, Secretary Pompeo, and the people of the United States for bringing us home." The 3 were accused of hostile acts or espionage against the North Korean regime. But after a meeting with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un freed the men. The release was a major move by North Korea.
Let's not forget that just a few months ago, the United States and North Korea were threatening to annihilate one another.
U.S. officials say a trust but verify attitude is still needed toward Pyongyang.
This is not some great give on North Korea's part. We cannot forget no regime has the right to hold American citizens in captivity without cause.
The president views this as a positive gesture and a step in the right direction from the North Korean leader. However, total denuclearization will remain the top priority.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Also, Secretary Pompeo has set a still undisclosed date for President Trump and Kim Jong-un to meet, but we do now know it will take place in Singapore. This will be the first time a sitting U.S. president has had a summit with a North Korean leader. Well, over the past few months, there have been several shootings in the North Sarasota neighborhood of Newtown.
But despite the incidents, the city commissioner there says the number of shootings has actually gone down. Marla Spence has a closer look from Newtown. Marla, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Well, one city commissioner says programs and initiatives in Newtown are contributing to the crime rate being lower this year so far compared to other years. Now, City Commissioner Willie Shaw says those programs are helping the community. He says one program that's helping out with positivity and promoting against gun violence is Brotherhood of Men, which is led by Booker High School SRO Dominic Harris. The other program he says it's been helping out is Men and Women of Purpose, and that's a program for adults living in Newtown. Commissioner Shaw says in addition to those programs, he, other city leaders, and police hopes to bring 3 other initiatives to the area. One program is called Don't Go Ballistic, which promotes looking for other ways to resolve issues other than gun violence. Another initiative are Every Life Matters and Cure Violence. That initiative will partner with healthcare professionals to do outreach about the dangers of gun violence. Commissioner Shaw says there are also other plans to promote safety in Newtown.
We're looking forward to putting on a march in this same awareness, and hopefully we can become preventative in this. In being proactive, we are also doing a gun buyback.
Now, there's no word yet on when the gun buyback or that march will take place. That is pending with that date. So far this year, there have been 14 shootings and 1 homicide. Just last year, there were 28 shootings and 1 homicide. Commissioner Shaw said back in 2011, there were close to 7 homicides just in the Newtown area. Reporting live in Newtown, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. 6:36 right now. We're wearing purple for a reason. It's actually World Lupus Day, a global call to action on behalf of millions of those affected by lupus.
Now, if you aren't familiar, lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease that can damage any part of the body. And chronic means, of course, that the signs and symptoms tend to last longer than 6 weeks. And for some, a lot of their flare-ups happen for many years. It can also be very hard to diagnose. And like Ray said, we're all wearing purple in support of World Lupus Day. All right, moving on and back home, this is certainly not something that you see every day. Take a look at this. Nope, it is not oil. It is a chocolate-covered highway. That's what a town in Poland experienced when this truck carrying 12 tons of, that's right, liquid milk chocolate, folks, hit a barrier and then tipped over. Now, the spread was anything but decadent, unfortunately. It did cause a huge traffic jam, and the cleanup wasn't nearly as sweet as you might think. That chocolate was reportedly harder to remove than oil. Hot pressurized water did help the situation, turning it into a less appetizing version of hot chocolate. Fortunately, of course, there were no serious injuries.
A dangerous recipe.
Oh, Ray, he's been waiting 2 hours to use that one again.
Still didn't work.
It didn't work. Well, it is no secret. Traffic, it is one of the biggest concerns here in the Suncoast. But is there any better way or a smarter way to get around? I-75, US 41, University Parkway, they all may seem like the fastest ways to get around town, but they're also the busiest, and those roads have the most accidents. So coming up tonight on ABC 7, Jess Dodrick investigates what are the best kept traffic secrets in our community.
You know, Sarasota is not that little sleepy community that it once was. We have a lot of designations, you know, #1 beach in the country, #1 place to retire. So you Google Sarasota, that brings a lot of tourism, and with a lot of tourism brings more traffic.
A lot of our deputies will stay off the main arteries when they're responding to calls. They know the roads, they know the back ways to get there. Longer distance sometimes isn't longer time.
All right, so first, tonight at 5 o'clock, find out what Sarasota roads are the most congested. Plus, we're going to give you some shortcuts to get around town. Then at 5:30, we're going to do the same in Manatee County.
The FDA is warning of a shortage of EpiPens. Those are the devices used to reverse the effects of overdoses or allergic reactions. The agency says manufacturing delays are the reason for it. It's expected to be a short-term shortage. The devices are made to deliver the life-saving drugs during emergency treatment. EpiPen producer Mylan confirms what it calls, quote, intermittent supply constraints. And they ask patients who need them immediately to contact Consumer Relations to find a pharmacy that does have them in stock.
Well, music truly can soothe the soul. Scientists say that they are proving that. In today's Health Smart, you're going to hear how music therapy is actually helping. Now, it's not just about the music or learning to play an instrument. It's about how music itself is used. Studies suggest that music can have physiological benefits, and some of those may have an impact on your health, like reducing your stress or even anxiety. Now, Jordan Karem uses music therapy to express the grief of losing her dad to lung cancer.
The goal is the use of music to attain goals like socialization, communication, motor goals, rehabilitative goals, and certainly when we're talking about grief and depression.
Music therapy was helpful to me because I'd already loved music. It was something that I loved to do, and then being able to go in and put it together with what I was feeling that day or the grief with my dad, I would pick songs that I related to.
Now, Jordan's mom says she knew that music was a good way to help her daughter communicate during such a difficult time.
And nothing can change your mood faster than music.
No, that is true. Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast.
Well, you've seen this video. The University of Florida is changing the way it does graduation after this celebration controversy. What they'll do differently from now on when we come back.
But first, let's take a look outside. It is shaping up to be quite a beautiful day, but there might be a little rain over Mother's Day weekend, John Scalzi.
Yeah, it kind of looks that way. You can see some of the cloud cover out there that'll give way to sunshine. Your commute forecast calls for all inclement weather boxes to remain unchecked. No issues with rain, fog, wind, or temperatures out there. As you head out the door, you'll have a little bit of that cloud cover around. That's true. Temperatures will be in the low 70s, but then that'll mix away, bringing upper 80s as you drive home this evening after a daytime high near 90. Again, all airport hubs serving Sarasota running on time. We'll talk about how to strengthen your home against a hurricane coming up in about 4 minutes.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Our nurse, Jennifer, all we did is pick up the phone if I was having a bad day, and the next thing we know, she was here at the door. I can't believe that I would have received any greater care anywhere. From that moment on, everything changed dramatically, and I don't know what we would have done without that.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now Now, your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So, as we wind down the week with hurricane preparedness, we look at what you can do to strengthen your home against the strong winds of a hurricane. You know, of course, the strongest homes are the ones that are built to current code, but even older homes with a limited amount of effort and money can be brought up to a standard that'll make it much, much stronger than you currently might find your home in. I would recommend, first of all, get an inspection of your home. You can do that by calling your insurance company and ask them for a list of hurricane mitigation inspectors. And it's a probably fairly long list that they'll hand you. Pick one you like and have them come out, and they'll tell you what you can do to beef up your home. And I would suggest also retrofitting projects that you can do. I've done that to my home, and especially if you have a gable end home that kind of has a flat surface on one side, those tend to fail in a hurricane. And there are some things you can do in the attic with just 2x4s and some nails that'll really beef that structure up. And of course, shutters and door locks and other things you can do. All of that information available at John Scalzi ABC 7 Facebook page, along with links that'll give you 1 hour projects, 1 day projects, and 1 month projects to fortify your home, as well as a manual from FEMA about how to protect your home against the wind as well. 73 degrees the air temperature by 9 a.m., 85 by 12 noon. Plenty of sunshine around today. Got a little fair weather, high clouds out there right now, but that'll mix away, bringing a lot of sunshine as we head into the afternoon. And temperatures again warm near 90. And as we head into the evening, should be beautiful with 82 degrees. Right now, we have dew points that are a little bit higher than they were 24 hours ago, coming in at 63. Of course, remember that dew point value, a measure of how much moisture there is in the air, directly related to the relative humidity and how comfortable the air feels as we heat it up. 65 degrees the air temperature, dew points in the low 60s. That feels pretty good. Dew points in the upper 60s. Starts to get a little humid. Dew points in the 70s certainly does feel humid. And really, across the entire state, our dew points have risen over the last 24 hours. Still, the really uncomfortable dew points, they're down in the southern tip of the state, and those will be lifting northward as we head into the next 24. Taking a look at the future cast by 6 a.m. Well, everything looks pretty quiet here, maybe a few high-level clouds. Winds will continue pretty much out of the east or northeast throughout the day today. A lot of times the clouds will mix away, bringing sunshine. As we head into the evening, we may see a return of those low, thin clouds, just a little bit of them. We have a couple of hot spots for shower and thunderstorm activity in the nation, but for us, we stay dry under the influence of that high-pressure ridge today and tomorrow. Then, after that, that high will eventually move into the Atlantic and take a trough of low pressure located through the Florida Straits, lift it north. As it's lifted north, it will increase our rain chances as we head into the weekend. Sunny and warm today, weekend rains, and kind of a humid Mother's Day. Here's a graphical look at what to expect on our future radar. Watch these showers that are in the Florida Straits right now start to lift north as we head into Friday. Friday's still a good day, maybe a little extra cloud cover around, but on Saturday, an isolated shower or two, and on Sunday, good bet for afternoon showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two. And really, that chance lingers right into Monday as well. So the forecast shapes up like this for boaters today. Northwest wind coming in at about 10 knots. Lightning winds as we head into the evening hours. Expect a light chop out there. Nice day to be out on the waters. 90, our high today. Tomorrow, about the same. Saturday, we start to moisten things up around here. We'll factor in that chance of an afternoon shower, but it really spikes on Sunday, Mother's Day. Not a whole day rain out, but still kind of summertime-like afternoon showers and thunderstorms, intermittent at times during the second half of the day, with a daytime high held down by the cloud cover. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next work week, we have chances of rain each day. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside to your first alert traffic. A little bit more cars on the road right now at this hour, so your traffic is starting to slow down a little bit. The roads coming over the bridges and into Bradenton, those are definitely starting to pick up. 301 State Road 70, those are a little bit busier. And 41 southbound after you passed by Cortez, that's also a little bit busier in Manatee County. Then in the top half of Sarasota County, those roads are still looking okay. A couple of our normal morning hot spots like University Parkway and Fruitville Road, those are also starting to see a lot more traffic out there, so it's starting to slow down as well. And then a little bit farther south in the area, no big delays in that part. If you're heading south toward maybe Punta Gorda or even a little bit farther south in that area, if you're heading on 75 or 41, it's still pretty clear out there. It's 6:49. That's your first alert traffic. Well, the University of Florida is now changing how it will hold their graduation ceremonies. This after an incident at graduation went viral over the weekend. This video right here. Several students were aggressively pushed off stage while dancing and celebrating by this faculty member. Now, the university president released an apology on social media, says they have changed their graduation policies when it comes to what they can do on stage. Also new, the faculty member who forcibly removed the students is now officially on paid leave.
6:50 right now, still ahead, your top 7 before 7.
And that, of course, includes a first look at your weather and traffic as you get ready for the day.
Should be a pretty day right now. We'll have John Scalzi's forecast and more news coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Hey kids, come learn baseball from the pros. The Bradenton Marauders are hosting baseball camp on June 5th, 6th, and 7th at Lecom Park. Boys and girls ages 6 to 14 will learn the fundamentals of hitting, pitching, and fielding from Marauders coaches and players at Lecom Park. Your camp fee includes a t-shirt, lunch daily, and 1 ticket to the Marauders games on these nights. To sign up, go to BradentonMarauders.com by May 14th. Sponsored by ABC7, your Suncoast News. Check out My Suncoast Dining on MySuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at MySuncoast.com/dining. Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
It is 6:53. Here are the top 7 things that you need to know before you head out the door at 7.
And first off, John Scalzi's first alert forecast.
Yeah, so your takeaways today are that we'll have a nice warm sunny day with weekend rain chances and higher humidity next week. What to grab as you head out the door with your out the door forecast, sunglasses and a sunscreen. Again today, it's a warm day starting out with 65 degrees and higher relative humidity. Sunny and warm this afternoon with rain-free conditions. And don't forget, take the forecast with you out the door with our first alert weather app. And Always go to mysuncoast.com for the latest information. We're also on social media. Back to you.
On to our second item. Nothing major to report now in the traffic department. All clear. This is a shot of Manatee County. Let's take a live shot now of Newtown and Marla Spence.
Over the past months, there have been several shootings in Newtown, but one city commissioner here and police say the issue is getting better than worse. So far, there have been 14 shootings and 1 homicide. Compared to last year, there were 28 shootings in Newtown and 1 homicide.
Number 4, it's National Tourism Week, and the Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau is hosting an event to reveal results of the first quarter of 2018. By the way, Manatee County drew 3 million tourists in 2016 alone.
And number 5, 3 Americans held captive in North Korea are now back on U.S. soil. The men arrived at Andrews Air Force Base just after 2 o'clock this morning, where President Trump was there to welcome them home.
Number 6, tomorrow night is game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Lightning host the Washington Capitals. Winner of the 7-game series goes on to the Stanley Cup Finals.
And number 7, remember the 1987 Mel Brooks Star Wars spoof Spaceballs? Well, Rick Moranis came out of retirement last night to reprise his famous role as the Dark Helmet. Saw it last night on The Goldbergs that airs right here on ABC 7. Came back as part of this dream sequence right there with Adam Goldberg. If you missed it, you can still find it online, abc.com, or of course on DVR. You would like it, Ray, because it makes fun of Star Wars in a gentle way.
I like that already.
Do you like Mel Brooks comedies?
I love Mel Brooks.
Me
comedies.
too.
Oh my gosh, he's brilliant.
Good stuff.
Julie's not a biography.
No, I need to. Good stuff.
Here's a pretty shot from the Sarasota Outboard Club. This is on City Island, not too far from Moat Marine. Beautiful way to start the day, and thank you for watching Good Morning Suncoast.
It truly is. Stick around. Good Morning America is straight ahead.